afternoon, race fans, and here we are again for qualifying at the Hungaroring. Who will have tuned the perfect setup for their car? We'll find out soon. It always looked like the kind of track that asks an awful lot of the rear tyres, such as the frequency of low-speed exits.
Lots of low-speed exits means the rears are in for a lot of punishment. It's all too easy to spin them up coming out of a corner too aggressively. It might look great for us as spectators, as we love to see a car driven beyond its limits, but it's not going to result in a great long-run pace.
What's up guys, and welcome back to my Robert Kubica Career Mode on F1 2017. This weekend we're at for the Hungarian Grand Prix, and before we get into qualifying, I am finally going to put in a durability upgrade. Should have done this a long time ago, and I spoke about how we've been suffering without it in my mid-season report video. Go check that one out if you're interested. So yeah, 30% IC durability increase by next weekend in Spa. Yes please, thank you very much. Right then, into qualifying on a bank lap here, of course. Hungary, very downforce dependent, I'm aware of that. With the car setup, I think I'm running wings as high as 10 or 11 actually. So gonna take all the downforce I can get. And because it isn't as reliant on power, I'm gonna run some power unit components that aren't really fresh. I couldn't use an older ICE because the last one has like 70% wear on it, but the MGU-K and MGU-H I'm pushing, and so we'll be sort of slow on straights, but we'll make do with it. Coming to the end of the lap here on our bank lap, it's been pretty average. I just hope I'm in the mid 1 minute 21s. Up to the line, get the DRS. It's gonna be a 1:21.2. Okay, good, almost what I was expecting. Sitting P7 currently, but we will fall down the order as we fast forward the time. Again, I'm looking to do just 2 laps in Q1, just like at Silverstone, and just like in Silverstone, it's gone cloudier very quickly, which is why I've come out a bit earlier. Usually I'd wait till about 2 minutes a session to go, but I can't take that chance if it rains. So here we go. Been a scruffy lap actually. We've actually been improving. Haven't been improving, so we just decided to abandon the lap and come into the pits, bolt on a fresh set of super softs, and go out for our final run right now. And now on our final run in Q1 here, we are making progress. We've fallen down the order to P11, but that's okay, still safe. We're still we're improving midway through the lap. Lost a bit of time there actually. Done that sector horribly bad. Bit more time gained though. We've got it back, gun it to the line with DRS, 3/10 up, and it's, what's it gonna be? P15, holy shit. We've just managed to sneak into Q2, but that was close. Where'd that come from? Anyway, we've made it to Q2, and Q2 looks like it could start raining, so let's just hope there's no delay due to car trouble. You know what happened in Silverstone. Let's just hope that doesn't happen. And wow, is that possible? Is that actually possible? What the? A sensor issue is going to cost us 3 minutes plus the 2 minutes outlap and essentially ruin our qualifying. You know what happened in Silverstone? We had a 5-minute issue in Q2, and by the time we went out, everyone done their time on slicks, and we have to do our inters. This time everyone did their time on inters, and we have to do our time. We are the only car to do our time on full wets, if you look at that, and that's just ruined our qualifying. That is mental how that's happened twice in 2 weeks. Mad.
We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. Kimi Raikkonen's perfect lap yesterday sees him start from pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Bottas, Max Verstappen and Sainz, Ocon, Magnussen, Massa and Daniel Ricciardo, Hülkenberg, Perez, Romain Grosjean and Alonso, Renault, Kvyat, Stoffel Van Dorn and Pascal Wehrlein. Ericsson and Lance Stroll rounds off the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Right, here we go then. Kimi Raikkonen starting on pole with Lewis Hamilton beside him. We're starting P15, 5 red lights, and away we go. It's a shocking start, loads of wheel spin off the line. We are not making any places up. We're actually going to lose places because here comes Daniel Kvyat in a stall. Also a massive dive into turn 1. We're just gonna follow him through there, going side by side with our teammate Nico Hulkenberg. Just get the speed on him up into P14. Gonna get boxed in between Massa and Grosjean here. Massa is gonna go down the inside of the Frenchman in the Haas and get up into P12, with Grosjean slotting into P13 and us slotting into P14. Down, going through this fast left-hander here, not really fast enough because it's still turn 1. Looking towards the end of the lap now, it's gonna be Grosjean coming back at Massa, going around the outside of Felipe. So we're gonna try and spoil the party here, make something of this, go down the inside there. It's not gonna happen. See if we can duck down the inside here. Again, not gonna happen. We do have to take advantage as soon as possible. P14 cannot be our pace given what we had in qualifying. So here we go then, going down the inside of Felipe. He did not expect me there to be down his inside. That is an 2 positions gained already. And looking at the back of Romain Grosjean, coming up to lap 3 here. Again, same place. We're gonna go down the inside. They do fall asleep at the wheel here into turn 1. This AI come in with their wide lines, just not necessary, and we're gonna take advantage as much as possible. Now we are on the back of Danny Kvyat in his Toro Rosso, the man who made up all of those positions from P16 to P11 in one move. We're gonna go and try to get him as soon as possible. We are hungry and sort of proactive this race because of our starting position. We're going to go down the inside of this slow right left corner. We're going to unsettle him and get it down his inside. This is a bit like Wall of Champions in Montreal, where you unsettle the driver. It's a bit of an unethical hack, if you would, but I don't care. Towards the end of lap 3 here, we're sitting just outside the points in P11. Meanwhile, looking up ahead, it's going to be both Red Bulls battling each other, with Daniel Ricciardo sending it down the inside of Max Verstappen. Verstappen obviously is not going to budge. He's going to keep it down the inside here, and if you remember, this is the exact position where they made contact in the real life Grand Prix, so that's incredible to see them side by side there. But it does look like this time no contact, and Ricciardo has gotten it ahead of his teammate. Speaking of teammates battling, it's the Force India's turn now, just behind them, with Perez going down the outside of Ocon. They're on different tires, if you notice. Perez on softs and Ocon on super softs. And with these guys battling, it is very crucial for me to get past Magnussen first and get on the back of their fight, because if they keep squabbling, that is opportunity for me to get in amongst it. So here we go then, on to lap 6 with DRS this time. Should be a bit easier going down the inside. Again, they're just going to take that wide line for no reason. Just going to make it that much easier for me to get down the inside. Again, look, they're still battling. They are still going down. Perez down the inside, Ocon keeping in. Ocon does have fresher rubber, but this time it does look like it is a bit final that Perez has gotten past Ocon, and Ocon struggling. Super softs really don't seem to be the race tire this time around, because Perez might not be in reach for us, but Ocon 100% is. On to lap 8, he has fallen so far behind. He's only 2 tenths ahead of us. He's going to make us go down the outside. We're going to switch back down the inside and get the DRS. Run away. That is P8 on lap 8, and that is up. That's up ahead of one Force India. Looking at the back of the other, not really going to happen. Actually, we're not even going to look at the back of the other, but because Ocon is not done with us. Suddenly, maybe it's us driving poorly or whatever, but Ocon is still harrying us, but not for long, because on the next lap his tires are going to go off the cliff and he's going to come in for his pit stop, and that means we on to lap 12. We are still on the back of Sergio Perez, albeit 3.5 seconds behind, But we don't have to worry about a car behind us because as you can see, Kevin Magnussen is so far behind, not so far behind, but he's 3 seconds behind, so we've got a 3 second plus or minus buffer. Perez, obviously we can't catch him, but he's gonna catch Sainz, who is incredibly keeping it so far up the grid. Perez goes down the inside of the Spaniard in the Toro Rosso, but this is not done yet. Incredible defense by Carlos Sainz. He's still gonna keep it side by side with the Force India. There's such a gulf in class, but incredible racecraft by both drivers. But finally it's gonna be the Force India's dominance. And with Perez having overtaken him, we've been catching Sainz for a while now. As we almost catch him, he's gonna come in to the pits for his pit stop because he's on super softs, and we're gonna be released onto the back of Sergio Perez again. I mean, I say released, but we are 4 seconds behind. So on lap 15, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna box this lap. We're supposed to box on lap 17 or somewhere around that range, but there's no point because we're constantly 4 or 5 seconds behind Perez. So we're gonna try and make this undercut work, and just as we come into the pits, DRS disabled, Kimi Raikkonen from the lead is out of the race. Virtual safety car has been deployed. So we've got incredibly lucky here because we've just legit pit under the virtual safety car. But even though we come out behind Sainz here in P13, there's a whole gaggle of cars in front of us. But here's the point, the guys who went on for another 1 or 2 laps, they haven't pit yet. They're the guys I'm racing, I mean these guys as well, but they're the guys I'm racing and they haven't pit yet, and they are still going around at a reduced pace thanks to the virtual safety car. So definitely has helped me out here, which I am thankful for. Somehow made that work extremely spot on. Virtual safety car is about to end, DRS enabled. If we go racing again, we're gonna get on the back of Sainz as soon as possible. This whole train is there for the taking, even though Ricardo is there. We're gonna go very close to the back of Carlos as we see Lance Stroll pitting. That is, he's one of the cars that was going around when he didn't want to. But here we go then with DRS. Carlos Sainz has got DRS as well on lap 17. See if we can make the move here. We've been very good on the brakes into turn 1. Here we go. Yep. Yes, so we made that move stick, somehow got the car back on track, and that is us up into P9. Looking at the back of the Red Bull of Danny Rick, we have somehow had the pace, even though we are on mediums and Ricardo is on softs. So we've still got the pace on him. Going into turn 1, see if we can Ricardo dive Ricardo himself. Here we go again. That why are they gonna go? Why do they have to go so wide into that corner? I mean, I really want to battle as well. I mean, as long as I'm making the moves, yes, I'm happy, but at the same time, let's battle like we saw Perez and Ocon battling, and the way we saw Ricardo himself and Verstappen battling. Somehow when I come up behind them, they just sort of let me go. But anyway, he let me go there, but he's definitely not going to let me go here because he's all over the back of me after I've overtaken him. So this is a bit of a worry. We have to run away from Ricardo as soon as possible. But there you go, on lap 23 he's going to pit. His softs have come to an end. I think he's doing 2 stops this race, which is a bit weird. But the next car, and actually now don't even worry about Carlos Sainz, because the other Red Bull of Max Verstappen has come out of nowhere, out of the pit stop. He's overtaken Sainz and he's now all over the back of me. He's going to go around the outside into turn 1. We defend very well, very deep into turn 1. We made that securely, and now looking towards the fast left-hander, is going to put his car in there. No way has he done it. Looking at it from our POV, he's just barged us out of the way there, and that is just way too aggressive. That's just, what is it, bumper cars or something. He's just gone full demolition derby mode there. So we're just gonna let Max Verstappen go, slot into P6 as we come to the end of lap 27. Full course safety car, DRS has been disabled because Valtteri Bottas is out of the race. We have a little thing there to see if we want to go into the pits or not. We decide to stay out, but that's incredible. 2 cars from the lead of the race have retired. See what happened to Valtteri here coming down the hill, and he is just gonna park up there because of a mechanical failure. Don't see an engine failure there. We're gonna come through and overtake the safety car that's just come out of the pits and try to catch the safety car queue. Here we are with Seb Vettel leading it. We're gonna slot in to P4, I think, with Vettel holding everyone up as is his right to do so as the race leader. Safety car is gonna come in this lap. We are in for P4, prepare to resume racing, about to go green any second now. Here we go then, into the last lap, trying to get the best launch possible, but we've gone on the curbing a bit, so that's not going to help because Verstappen is going to run away. Ericsson's going slow because he's under blue flag conditions. And where is Sainz in all of this? He's gotten his nose in there down the inside, but we're going to defend very deep into that corner, but somehow made that mistake. But going into this fast left-hand Wehrlein, still under blue flags, we're going to go through safely, but he's going to, oh my god, Wehrlein has just made a massive meal of it and ruined Sainz's race there. But incredibly, Sainz is going to continue and sort of hold everyone up. This is sort of like Monaco and not really a place for overtaking, so that is going to help us run away from. With 2 laps to go now, Esteban Ocon in his Force India is on fresh soft tyres towards the end of the race, as opposed to us around him on worn mediums. He's already gotten past Sainz, who was being a bit of a roadblock, and he has 2.5 laps to catch me. And look, on the last lap here, he's already caught me at an alarming rate. This is a battle I was not expecting to have, not with Ocon anyway, maybe with Sainz. But now we've got a huge task on our hands here. Into the last sector, we're going to defend it to the inside. Sebastian Vettel has won the race, of course he has, but P4 for us is anything but secure. We only got two corners to go. Looks like we managed to keep this position. Going into the final corner here, looking back at Ocon, I am distracted and almost make a critical mistake, opening up the steering and going wide. No, it's going to be close. What the hell? Oh, we kept it. We managed to keep it. Yep, P4. Oh, we kept it. God damn, that's P4. What a finish.
So, here they come now, out onto the podium. Wherever you go, anywhere in the world, the prancing horse flags are dominant in the grandstands, and they're out in force again today. It's Ferrari on the top step once more.
Almost bottled it at the very end there, but what a result. P15 to P4, that's 12 precious points for us, and just kept it ahead of our rival as well. Kimi and Bottas retiring helped us, but we made up most of solid ground in that first stint with a lucky pit stop as well. On to Spa next weekend. Pretty damn excited for that. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe for more, and I will see you then. Jan Barpe.